Welcome to the Curated Beauty Podcast. Jessica Christie here, a health and beauty enthusiast who became a medical practitioner to be the authority on how to enhance both your outer beauty and inner beauty for the most confident glow. Founding and owning a multi-million-dollar aesthetic medical practice in Michigan, my mission is to bring all the bi-coastal innovations to the fresh coast of Michigan. From which aesthetic treatment gives you the most bang for your buck to how to create systems to be both professionally fulfilled and still have freedom of time and relationships, we will be diving into it all. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your favorite corner of the audiosphere, the Curated Beauty Podcast. I'm your host, Jessica Christie, and boy, oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about today. First, I want to take a little moment to acknowledge my hiatus. As most of you know, life sometimes has a way of making us hit the pause button and really reevaluating our priorities. And that's precisely what happened to me. It was a time of reflection, a time of sorting out what truly matters, and most importantly, time to ensure that this podcast can continue to offer high value of content to you. Listen, we all know that you can just talk to talk. It happens every day in every situation that I'm in. But I'm here back in the saddle and beyond excited to kickstart our beauty journey again. But before we dive into the nitty-gritty of a very interesting topic I have to mention to you, and one that I mulled over whether I wanted to talk about it, I really want to share something a little personal and transformative and something that's really reshaped the way that I approach life and work. If you're wondering, what could this possibly have to do with beauty? Bear with me because it is about beauty and efficiency and vision. Yes, my dear friends, I've discovered the getting things done method, which I've been playing with for the better half of this year. And it's also known as GTD. It's a powerful tool called the priority filter. And these tools have really become my trusty sidekicks in managing my life, both personally and professionally, and sometimes the culmination of the ecosystem of both. So if you guys don't still know what I'm talking about, David Allen's GTD method has really helped me declutter my mind, sharpen my focus, and really increase productivity like never before for both myself and my team. It's helped me to transform my chaotic list of things and tasks that are streamlining through my head and flow them onto paper or into different task management systems, whatever you may use, for purposeful actions. I have been able to juggle my personal life, some very big growth things happening in business and personally, a home renovation, my very busy, booming business with tons of other colleagues that I have alongside me, and other professional commitments, obviously this podcast, which is one of the things that I had to put on the do later list. But I really have a newfound sense of calm and control, even when things are going wildly crazy. So this priority filter is really a wonderful tool that's helped me learn the value of prioritizing. And it's taught me to distinguish between important and urgent things that really need to happen now, what deserves my immediate attention, and what can wait, between what aligns with my vision and what doesn't. So it's been really instrumental in bringing even the Curated Beauty Podcast back on track. I really need to use this as a vessel of things that take longer than a 90-second reel to explain to you all. So with the getting things done method and the priority filter, it's really helped me realize my vision for this podcast and help me to give you guys, as I bring something so intense to the market and to my business, some other avenue for you to pick up when it's convenient for you to learn a little bit more. So there's some twists and turns coming. This is a journey. It's not just about beauty products or routines that we use on a daily basis. It's really honestly about actions that we take to realize our visions and our ambitions and who we're becoming. So in the coming weeks, as we really rediscover the world of curated beauty together, I really hope to share more about how these methods have revolutionized my life, my work, how those two, again, come together, how I've really shared this with my team. And so I think it's time to dive into today's episode and really blend our favorite things, beauty, efficiency, and pursuit of a visionary life. So grab a cup of coffee, a latte, a water with some electrolytes in it, maybe a pinch of Celtic sea salt. Sit back, relax, and let's talk about some things beauty. All right, you guys, I wanted to start back into the podcast groove with an episode that's very important. I went back and forth whether or not I wanted to share this story, but it's something that really shaped who I am. And I have learned so much about leaning into vulnerability and what that looks like and what that's done for me and how it makes me a better leader and how it makes me show up more authentically, which, hello, that's why my business is successful. So 1 year ago, I was standing on the precipice of quite the emotional chasm. A major trust relationship had been broken for me. It was a betrayal that really left my soul seared. And at first, I was really unwilling to admit that. I was just in survival mode. I do that a lot. But really, any betrayal, even for someone that you don't even really have a deep love for, anybody who sees you and chooses to show up and hurt you or try to hurt you, that's going to leave a scar. This was my first employee ever at Beauty Culture. I had specifically asked her if she wanted to come along because I saw her in a rough spot. And it was someone that I had allowed into my dreams and someone that I had banked on to share my vision and passion for this enterprise known as the birth of Beauty Culture. And a sense of dread had taken a hold of my usually really sharp intuition. I really have had 2 times in my life that I have not listened to my intuition, but I could feel this impending fracture in our really close-knit team. Every time I walked into my own business, I really felt uncomfortable. I would go hide in my office. I knew there wasn't something right. Really, these echoes of this ill will that was starting to build against me was ricocheting throughout my mind and my medical spa. And really, sadly, this was a sanctuary that I had built with a lot of love, a lot of dedication. And I wanted this to be a place for anyone who we hired to really feel very comfortable coming to work. We've all gone to those jobs where we just hated the moment that we walked through the doors. And clearly that had become this place for this person for whatever reason. Those are valid in her own way. But from the onset, I had adopted a leadership style that was very grounded in autonomy and rewarding compensation. And I really just thought confidently that if I paid people the highest and I gave them freedom, that this would really kindle content and loyal team members. Well, I was soon to realize that despite my best laid intentions, the pulse of discontent was growing stronger. And insecure people, what do? They try to bring people in and band people together. And there was a lot of mistrust that began to envelop our once really harmonious workplace. And I can look back and regret seeing the inklings of these things. There were people that played a part of this that weren't even this person that I thought, gosh, if I would have just taken care of that, it wouldn't have continued to foster. But in the end of the day, it doesn't matter because the alarm bells were growing louder, prompting me to dig deeper. And with a heavy heart, I discovered the proof of their plans to start a competing business. And it wasn't just, hey, I want to become an entrepreneur. It was, I'm going to try to take you down in every way possible because I just really despise you. This revelation came as a bitter truth, but it was also a catalyst for massive change. And it was a turning point that really steered the resolve of a lot of the things that I really wasn't able to address. So in the face of really undeniable evidence, my decision had to be clear. I had to let them go. I no longer had to walk in every day and think, gosh, I can't imagine letting them go because that would mean it would be so hard on me. And are they doing anything really that bad? Who cares if they don't like me? They're doing the job. But now I knew that their presence was majorly, obviously contaminating the culture and they were trying to take me down. So in the stark betrayal that finally gave me the courage to make this difficult decision, here we are. In the aftermath, I was really faced with, first of all, a fractured team that I can blame them or I can blame myself. I think that there's no reason to place blame on anyone. I had a fractured team that was in some ways fearful about what the future looked like, people that were pulled into drama that didn't ask for that, And the cowardly thing was to be able to walk away. So I was faced with a lot of legal advice advocating for contracts and assurances and attempts to create this fortress of legalese around my enterprise. But I resisted some of these measures because I believed that, first of all, anyone who was with me shouldn't pay for the sins of other people, but also that relationships shouldn't be bound by a mere piece of paper. So I turned toward restoring trust with my team. And ever since that day, and ever since I've realized this, my team has been my number one priority. I used to think it was my patients, but it's my team and mending those fractures and betrayals that this whole issue had caused. So I initiated one-on-one evaluations. This was a time for my team members to really just tell me with heart-to-heart conversations what they needed. It wasn't just assessing performance. I actually didn't do that at all at that point. I just wanted to listen. And the things that I found through that, I can share in another podcast, essentially, but people wanted to be led. They wanted to be fostered. They didn't want to be entrepreneurs that day. If they do in the future, now I am at a place where I can celebrate that. But they wanted more than just money. And people actually leave the highest paying jobs for jobs that pay them less because they want more than just a paycheck. Money is energy, but it can be negative energy. Together, we reaffirmed our purpose and our mission and our values. And I wasn't fearful anymore, but I remember saying, gosh, okay, now at the end of this one-on-one, you have my commitment that I'm going to bring you all of these tools to start to really look at, what do you want out of this? Like, how can I help you reach your goals? What does your perfect day look like? And how can beauty culture help you reach those things? And again, reiterated the core values of integrity, impact, being fully committed, having a growth mindset. I told them, I'm having you sign a couple of these contracts because I want to invest more in you. And this is a way to protect myself. And I want you to also feel protected and like I care and I have a vested interest in you. So this really renewed a bond, much like marriage. And I told them, this isn't a contract where I'm like incarcerating you. This is a contract where we're both willingly walking down the aisle and having a mutual agreement where both parties are equally invested in this shared future. So since that day, I have learned and grown in so many ways. I could have never predicted that I would be in this position and that my business would grow leaps and bounds as it has in the last year. I understood the importance of clearly communicating the why behind any decisions and any requirements that I'm asking of them. And I'm still obviously learning to balance the needs of my team with the needs of my business. You have to be careful not to be mirroring and being manipulative. Just appear that you're hearing, quote unquote, your team members. But I am now celebrating a larger purpose, a bigger vision, more flow state. I've gained more freedom through financial stability and deeper relationships and time. And I feel that I called my shot in January, which was, I don't even think I fully understood what I was saying, but I said, I'm going to not grow this year. I'm going to scale. And I put so much effort into explaining to my team the need for not cross-training to make people irrelevant, cross-training so we can focus on the important things like having vision. Today, the prospect of someone leaving my team no longer sounds fearful or sends fear coursing through my veins or sends insecurity or how can I keep them? I understand that if someone chooses to leave, it's a stepping stone and a new chapter in their journey that I can help them embark on with compassion and support. And so a year has passed since that monumental day, and it has indeed been a year of tremendous growth, self-discovery, tons of resilience. And each day is a testament to the strength of my team and the clarity of our vision in total. So as the dust of the past settled and our team has evolved into something that I'm so proud of, just these incredible individuals that really now trust me to focus on their unique abilities, the horizon for our future really began to dawn. And I found myself in a conversation with my business coach, Kaylee, recently, charting out the map for my next location. And questions swirled around my head, and they still are. I'm not going to lie. Should I bring on partners? Should I seek external backing? How much advice should I be taking from others that say, oh, that's a bad idea, or this is a bad idea? And my coach's words were a balm to my anxieties. And she gently reminded me that, yeah, indeed, the same problems might and probably will crop up. The same challenges could be faced. Like, what if I go down there and I do it myself and I pick too small of a facility? Because I was just telling my husband today, never, ever, ever did I know that I would need so much space where I currently am. And I was telling him how silly to think that I was going to be happy with staying so small. We were talking about conversations that we've had with our CPA, and he was like, I've never seen this happen before, this kind of expansive growth. And I know that the same questions are going to come up. Should I have picked a bigger space? But those same challenges are now being faced by me steering the ship and navigating the waters as a more experienced visionary leader. The reassurance echoed within me, really honestly, the reflection of all the pride that I have for the work that I have showed up and done, for the trials that I've braved, for the boundaries that I've set up, for the leader that I've become, for the vulnerability that I've allowed to take place, for saying, yeah, I was hurt. That does leave a scar, but I'm going to heal. Honestly, resonates so deeply because I was speaking to another kind of guidance type person, and she said, do you know why you love this field so much of aesthetics? And I said, I don't know. I think I do. I love leaving people better than I found them. But yeah, I'm not necessarily super, super vain. Like, I don't need to look perfect. If you see me in real life, I have flaws. I have wrinkles under my eyes. Sometimes I am overdue for Botox. I have acne. Sometimes, like, I'm painting a really negative picture, but I have flaws. I'm not obsessed with perfection in terms of physical appearance, but I am obsessed with people being better than when I left them. And she said, well, think about anything that people talk about in terms of, oh, I have a gut feeling about something. It's in your gut, in your sacrum and chakras. And then I have to get something off my chest. That's your heart chakra. Or I'm feeling choked up. It's your throat chakra. She's like, anytime that you talk about being stronger and creating boundaries, like, get thick skin. And I was like, wow. And so now that I have reflected on these trials and become stronger and really rejuvenated my own health in terms of this scar and betrayal that's taken place, I walk into the regenerative medicine side of things. And as I stand on this new threshold in this new venture, I hold on to the lessons of the past and for the immense promise of the future. And I'm guided by not only the trust and unity of my team, but I'm armed by wisdom of my experiences and driven by the knowledge that I have grown immensely in this journey. And I'm ready to make things happen. I'm ready to embark on this new journey. As I look toward the future, I'm excited about the possibilities that it holds, the challenges that it promises. That sometimes I don't want to say that, but I know that I'm going to be better on the other side. And I know that there's going to be massive triumph that awaits. And most importantly, I am proud of who I am, and I'm proud of the work I've put in. And I'm incredibly optimistic about where we're headed. So I welcome you all to join us along the journey. I hope that it gives you motivation to do hard things in your life and to be vulnerable and to be brave. Watch for those messages, those intuition. Those are guidances for where we're supposed to be headed in life. And so I welcome you into the realm of all of those things, because it is a great short life that we are always full of gratitude every day that we are able to even wake up, and that we know that we're not here for a long time, but we are here for a good time, and we are going to shake stuff up and be disruptive. So thank you for tuning in. I'm so happy to be back. I am looking forward to digging into some big topics. And as always, I take requests on things that you guys want to hear about. So hit us up on all of our social channels. We are going to put all those in the show notes, and I look forward to talking to you all soon. Congratulations, you have done it. You've reached the end of an episode on the Curated Beauty Podcast and have enriched a part of your self-care by discovering something new. I hope this time together added a little perspective to your day and will ultimately boost your confidence and give you the strength to do all the hard things. As we walk through this journey together, follow our Curated Beauty Podcast. And if this resonated with you, share it with a friend, save the episode, and also follow our social media platforms in the show notes. We love to engage with our listeners on all levels.